The story of Formula One begins not on a pristine modern circuit but on the dusty, unpredictable public roads of late 19th century Europe. As the first automobiles sputtered to life, they were more than just a new form of transport. They were a symbol of human ingenuity and, honestly, a new frontier for adventure. It was only natural that their owners, proud and competitive, would want to see whose machine was superior. The earliest races were chaotic, often dangerous affairs, stretching for hundreds of miles from one city to another. These epic contests, like the 1894 Paris-Rouen trial, were less about pure speed and more about endurance, reliability, and the sheer courage of the drivers who dared to pilot these primitive contraptions over treacherous terrain. These early competitions captured the public's imagination in a way nothing else had before. Crowds would line the routes for miles, hoping to catch a fleeting glimpse of the loud, smoke-belching machines as they thundered past. The drivers were pioneers, grappling with unreliable engines, fragile tires, and rudimentary steering, all while navigating roads shared with horse-drawn carts and bewildered pedestrians. Success was measured not just in finishing first, but often in simply finishing at all. These city-to-city races laid the essential groundwork for motorsport, establishing a fundamental link between automotive innovation and the thrill of competition that continues to define Formula One to this day. It was a raw, untamed expression of speed. The inherent dangers of racing on public roads, however, quickly became apparent. Accidents were frequent and often tragic, leading organizers to seek a more controlled environment. This led to the concept of the closed circuit, a dedicated loop of road where speed could be pursued with greater safety for both competitors and spectators. The first purpose-built racetrack, Brooklands in England, opened in 1907, featuring high-banked corners designed to sustain incredible speeds. This shift from open roads to closed circuits marked a pivotal moment, transforming racing from a rugged adventure into a more structured and professional sport. It allowed for better organization, clearer rules, and a more focused spectacle for the growing number of fans. This evolution set the stage for a more organized form of racing that would soon sweep across Europe. The focus began to shift from pure endurance to a combination of speed, strategy, and engineering excellence. Manufacturers saw racing as the ultimate testing ground for their new technologies, pouring resources into developing faster and more reliable cars. The spirit of competition intensified, and the desire for a standardized set of rules to govern these high-stakes contests grew stronger. The foundations were being laid for what would eventually become the premier class of motorsport, a global phenomenon where the finest drivers and the most advanced machines would battle for ultimate glory. The age of Grand Prix racing was about to begin. The term Grand Prix, meaning Grand Prize, was first used for a motor race in 1906 by the Automobile Club de France. This event, held on a vast triangular circuit of public roads near Le Mans, was a significant step forward. It introduced a new level of organization and prestige, attracting the leading manufacturers and drivers of the era. Unlike the earlier city-to-city marathons, this was a contest of pure performance over a defined course. The regulations were more specific, dictating car weight and other technical aspects to ensure a level of fairness. The French Grand Prix established a template that other nations quickly followed, with Italy, Belgium, and Spain hosting their own Grand Prix, each becoming a major national event. These pre-war Grand Prix races were spectacles of immense power and bravery. The cars were monstrous machines with huge engines, narrow tires, and minimal safety features. Drivers wrestled with heavy steering wheels and navigated rough, unpaved surfaces, often for hours on end. The legendary circuits of this era, such as Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium and Monza in Italy, were known for their daunting speed and unforgiving nature. They became hallowed grounds where motorsport myths were forged. The competition between nations, represented by their automotive champions like Alfa Romeo, Bugatti, and Mercedes-Benz, added a layer of patriotic fervor to the intense on-track battles. It was a golden age of heroic drivers and magnificent untamed cars. The interwar period, particularly the 1930s, saw a dramatic escalation in speed and technology, largely fueled by the state-sponsored racing programs of Germany's Mercedes-Benz and Auto Union. These silver arrows, with their sleek, futuristic designs and immensely powerful engines, dominated the sport. They introduced innovations like independent suspension and aerodynamic bodywork, pushing the boundaries of what was thought possible in a racing car. Drivers like Rudolf Caracciola and Bernd Rosemeyer became national heroes, their duels on the track captivating a continent teetering on the brink of conflict. The sport was becoming faster, more professional, and infinitely more dangerous. However, the outbreak of the Second World War in 1939 brought this golden era to an abrupt and devastating halt. Circuits fell silent, factories were repurposed for military production, and the racing community was scattered. The war left Europe in ruins, but the passion for motorsport endured. As the continent began to rebuild, the desire to revive the thrill of Grand Prix racing was strong. Organizers and enthusiasts knew that for the sport to truly thrive in the post-war world, it needed a unified structure and a clear, ultimate prize. This led to the formation of a new governing body and a new set of rules, a new formula that would unite the disparate Grand Prix into a single, cohesive world championship. In the aftermath of World War II, the international motorsport community came together to create a new framework for the highest level of racing. The Fédération Internationale de l'Automobile, or FIA, established a set of regulations, or a formula, to define the cars that would compete. This was designated Formula One, signifying its status as the premier single-seater racing category. The plan was ambitious: to link the most prestigious European Grand Prix into a single season-long battle, culminating in the crowning of the first-ever Formula One world champion. The dream of a unified global championship was finally becoming a reality, setting the stage for a new chapter in racing history. The momentous day arrived on May 13, 1950, at the Silverstone Circuit in Great Britain. The former Royal Air Force airfield was transformed into a racetrack, welcoming a massive crowd that included King George VI. The inaugural race of the FIA World Championship of Drivers was a grand affair, filled with anticipation and excitement. The grid was dominated by the powerful Alfa Romeo team and their formidable Alfetta 158 cars, a design that had its roots in the pre-war era but remained incredibly effective. The race was a showcase of speed and skill, a triumphant return for a sport that had been silenced by years of conflict and uncertainty. The race itself was dominated by one man, Giuseppe Nino Farina. The Italian driver, known for his aggressive, straight-arm driving style, led his Alfa Romeo teammates to a commanding 1-2-3 finish. He took pole position, set the fastest lap, and won the race, achieving a perfect Grand Slam. This victory was a defining moment, not just for Farina, but for the sport itself. It established a benchmark of excellence and set the tone for the championship battle that would unfold over the subsequent months. The first ever Formula One race was a resounding success, capturing the headlines and proving that Grand Prix racing was back and more thrilling than ever. That inaugural 1950 season consisted of 7 races, including the legendary Monaco Grand Prix and the dauntingly fast Monza circuit. The championship fight was an all-Alfa Romeo affair, a fierce rivalry between Farina, the experienced veteran, Juan Manuel Fangio, the rising star from Argentina, and Luigi Fagioli, another seasoned Italian racer. In the end, it was Farina who clinched the title at the final round in Italy, etching his name into the history books as the very first Formula One world champion. His triumph marked the successful launch of a new era, one that would see Formula One grow from its European roots into the global sporting giant it is today. Every era of Formula One has been defined by its champions, the extraordinary drivers whose talent, charisma, and sheer will to win elevated them to legendary status. In the 1950s, that legend was Juan Manuel Fangio. The Argentinian, nicknamed El Maestro, was the sport's first true superstar. He possessed a unique blend of speed, intelligence, and mechanical sympathy that allowed him to win 5 world championships with 4 different manufacturers, a record of versatility that remains astonishing. Fangio's calm demeanor and calculated approach set him apart, proving that success in Formula One required not just bravery, but also immense tactical skill and an intimate understanding of the machine. The sport's soul was forever changed by the arrival of Ayrton Senna in the 1980s. The Brazilian driver was a force of nature, a man of deep passion and almost spiritual intensity behind the wheel. His qualifying laps were often breathtaking, as he pushed his car to the absolute limit with a raw, mesmerizing talent. Senna's epic rivalry with the cool, calculating Frenchman Alain Prost became one of the greatest stories in all of sport, a clash of personalities and driving styles that captivated millions. Senna's 3 world titles and his tragic death at the 1994 San Marino Grand Prix cemented his place as a mythical figure, revered for his uncompromising pursuit of perfection. Following Senna's era, Michael Schumacher rose to redefine the meaning of dominance. The German driver combined incredible natural talent with a relentless work ethic and an unparalleled focus on physical fitness and team building. He transformed Ferrari from a struggling team into an unstoppable force, winning 5 consecutive championships from 2000 to 2004. His record of 7 world titles stood as a seemingly unbreakable benchmark for years. Schumacher was a master tactician, a brilliant wet-weather driver, and a fierce competitor who pushed every rule to its edge, leaving an indelible mark on the sport as its most statistically successful driver for a generation. In the modern hybrid era, 2 names have stood above all others: Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen. Hamilton, a British driver, broke down barriers and rewrote the record books, matching Schumacher's 7 titles while becoming a powerful global voice for social change. His smooth, precise driving style and remarkable consistency made him a titan of the sport. His reign was eventually challenged by the aggressive, instinctive talent of Max Verstappen. The Dutch driver's thrilling on-the-edge style brought a new level of excitement and intensity, culminating in a titanic championship battle in 2021. These drivers, like Fangio and Senna before them, are the heroes who make Formula One more than just a race. They make it a human drama. The history of Formula One is, honestly, a parallel story of human courage and technological advancement. From the very beginning, engineers and designers have been locked in this relentless pursuit of speed, always searching for new ways to make their cars faster than the competition. One of the most significant early innovations came in the late 1950s, when teams like Cooper realized the benefits of moving the engine from the front of the car to the back, right behind the driver. This mid-engine layout dramatically improved the car's balance and handling, making it way more nimble through corners. This revolutionary idea quickly became the standard and, well, the classic front-engine Grand Prix car became a relic of the past. As speeds increased, so did the risks. The 1960s and 70s were a particularly dangerous period in Formula One history, with driver fatalities tragically common. This spurred a slow but crucial movement towards improving safety. Led by drivers like Jackie Stewart, who had witnessed the loss of too many friends and colleagues, the push for safety reforms began to gain real momentum. Simple but effective measures were introduced, such as mandatory seatbelts, fire-retardant race suits, and full-face helmets. Circuits were also improved, with dangerous roadside obstacles removed and runoff areas added to give drivers a better chance of surviving an accident. The sport was beginning to understand that speed had to be balanced with survival. The quest for aerodynamic grip defined the next great leap in car design. In the late 1970s, teams began experimenting with wings and so-called ground effect technology, which used the shape of the car's underbody to create a low-pressure area, effectively sucking the car to the track. This allowed for mind-boggling cornering speeds but also introduced new dangers, as the aerodynamic effect could be lost suddenly and catastrophically. While ground effect was eventually banned for safety reasons, the focus on aerodynamics remains absolutely central to Formula One design. Every surface of a modern car is meticulously sculpted to manage airflow, generating immense downforce that plants the car firmly on the tarmac. In recent years, safety has become the paramount concern in Formula One, with the FIA leading the charge to protect its drivers. The carbon fiber monocoque, which is an incredibly strong survival cell around the driver, has saved countless lives. Further innovations like the Hans head and neck support device, which prevents whiplash injuries in a crash, have become standard. Perhaps the most visible safety feature is the halo, a titanium structure surrounding the cockpit that protects the driver's head from large debris and impacts. Initially met with resistance for its appearance, the halo has since proven its worth on numerous occasions, representing the sport's unwavering commitment to making racing as safe as it is fast. Formula One is a sport of 2 championships, one for the drivers and one for the constructors. The teams that build the cars are just as famous as the stars who drive them, and a few have achieved legendary status. None are more iconic than Scuderia Ferrari. The Italian team, founded by Enzo Ferrari, is the only constructor to have competed in every single season of the World Championship since its inception in 1950. The passion, the history, and the unmistakable scarlet red of their cars have created a global legion of fans known as the Tifosi. Ferrari is more than just a team. It is the beating heart of Formula One, a symbol of Italian pride and racing heritage. While Ferrari represents history, other teams have risen to challenge its supremacy and build their own dynasties. McLaren, founded by New Zealander Bruce McLaren, became a dominant force in the 1980s and 90s, famous for its meticulous engineering and legendary driver pairings like Senna and Prost. Williams, another British team, enjoyed immense success with its innovative technology and gritty independent spirit. In the 21st century, new giants emerged. Mercedes transformed the sport with its hybrid engine mastery, winning 8 consecutive constructors' titles in a period of unprecedented dominance. More recently, Red Bull Racing has become a powerhouse, thanks to its brilliant aerodynamic designs and its star driver, Max Verstappen. The growth of these powerhouse teams was fueled by Formula One's expansion from a largely European affair into a truly global sport. In the 1970s and 80s, under the commercial leadership of Bernie Ecclestone, Formula One began to strategically add races in new markets. Grand Prix in Brazil, Japan, Canada, and the United States brought the spectacle to new audiences, attracting international sponsors and television broadcasters. This global calendar not only increased the sport's revenue and visibility, but also enriched its culture, with each new circuit bringing its own unique character and challenges. The championship was no longer just a European tour, it was a worldwide adventure. Today, the Formula One calendar spans 5 continents, with races held in iconic locations from the glamorous streets of Monaco to the futuristic nightscapes of Singapore and the dazzling lights of Las Vegas. This global presence has made Formula One one of the most watched annual sporting series on the planet. The logistics of transporting entire teams and their sophisticated equipment around the world is a monumental undertaking, a traveling circus of high-tech engineering and elite sport. This expansion has cemented Formula One's status as a premier global brand, bringing the thrill of Grand Prix racing to millions of passionate fans in every corner of the globe. Modern Formula One is a stunning display of technological prowess where races are won and lost by the smallest of margins. One of the key innovations that has shaped contemporary racing is the Drag Reduction System, or DRS. Introduced in 2011, this system allows a driver to open a flap on the rear wing when they are within 1 second of the car ahead in designated zones. This reduces aerodynamic drag, giving them a significant speed advantage on the straights, and greatly increasing the chances of overtaking. While some purists debate its artificial nature, DRS has undeniably made the racing more exciting and unpredictable, creating more on-track action for the fans to enjoy. The most profound technological shift in recent history came in 2014 with the introduction of hybrid power units. These are not just engines, they are incredibly complex systems that combine a traditional internal combustion engine with advanced energy recovery systems. These systems harvest waste energy from both the brakes and the turbocharger, store it in a battery, and allow the driver to deploy it as an extra boost of power. These power units are the most efficient in the world, achieving thermal efficiency levels of over 50%. This move towards hybrid technology positioned Formula One at the forefront of automotive innovation, aligning the sport with the wider industry's push for greater efficiency. Alongside technological evolution, Formula One has transformed into a massive global business. Under the ownership of Liberty Media, which took control in 2017, the sport has embraced modern media and fan engagement in a way it never had before. The hugely successful Netflix series Drive to Survive introduced Formula One to a new, younger and more diverse audience, particularly in the United States. The series humanized the drivers and team principals, turning the behind-the-scenes drama of the paddock into compelling entertainment. This, combined with a savvy digital media strategy, has led to a massive surge in popularity and commercial value. This business-oriented approach has also brought significant changes to the sport's governance, most notably the introduction of a budget cap. This rule limits how much money a team can spend over the course of a season, aiming to level the playing field between the wealthiest teams and the smaller independents. The goal is to make the championship more competitive, ensuring that success is determined more by ingenuity and efficiency than by sheer financial might. This focus on financial sustainability, combined with the on-track spectacle and growing fan engagement, has created a robust and thriving model for the future of Formula One. In recent years, Formula One has recognized that its influence extends far beyond the racetrack. The sport has embarked on a significant journey to become a more inclusive and socially responsible platform. A key part of this is the We Race as One initiative, launched in 2020 to promote diversity, inclusion, and community. This program aims to tackle important social issues and ensure that Formula One is a welcoming environment for everyone, regardless of their background, gender, or ethnicity. The initiative has seen the sport actively support educational and internship programs to create opportunities for underrepresented groups to find a career in motorsport. Leading drivers, most notably Lewis Hamilton, have used their global platform to advocate for positive change. Hamilton's own activism and the establishment of his Mission 44 Foundation have been instrumental in pushing the sport to address its lack of diversity. Formula One has responded by creating scholarships and working with teams to build a more diverse talent pipeline, from engineers to marketing professionals. The sight of drivers taking a united stand against discrimination before each race has become a powerful symbol of this new commitment, showing that the sport is dedicated to using its voice to make a meaningful impact on society. Alongside its social initiatives, Formula One has placed a major focus on environmental sustainability. Acknowledging the environmental impact of a global motorsport series, the organization has set an ambitious goal to be net zero carbon by 2030. This plan covers not just the cars themselves but the entire operation, including team travel, logistics, and factory operations. The sport is actively working to reduce waste, switch to renewable energy sources at its facilities, and make its freight and travel more efficient. This comprehensive strategy is a bold statement of intent, positioning Formula One as a leader in sustainable practices within the sporting world. A crucial element of this environmental strategy is the development of 100% sustainable fuels, which are set to be introduced with the new engine regulations in 2026. These advanced fuels will be created from non-food biological sources, or by capturing carbon from the atmosphere, resulting in a drop-in fuel that can be used in standard engines with a minimal carbon footprint. This innovation has the potential to revolutionize not just racing, but the global transportation industry, demonstrating that high performance and sustainability can go hand in hand. By embracing these social and environmental responsibilities, Formula One is securing its relevance and legacy for a new generation. As Formula One speeds towards its future, it shows no signs of slowing down. The sport's core appeal, the thrilling combination of human skill and cutting-edge technology, remains as potent as ever. The next generation of regulations, set for 2026, promises to shake up the competitive order once again. These new rules will feature smaller, lighter cars and a new power unit that places a greater emphasis on electrical power, while running on fully sustainable fuels. This constant evolution is part of Formula One's DNA. It is a sport that never stands still, always pushing the boundaries of engineering and performance in a relentless cycle of innovation. The fan experience is also being continuously enhanced. Advances in broadcast technology, including more dynamic camera angles, in-depth data analysis, and immersive digital platforms, are bringing audiences closer to the action than ever before. The rise of esports has also created a new pathway for fans to engage with the sport, allowing virtual racers to compete on a global stage and even collaborate with real Formula One teams. The calendar continues to evolve, blending historic, beloved circuits with exciting new venues in major global markets, ensuring the spectacle remains fresh and captivating for its ever-growing audience. The challenges ahead are significant, from maintaining fierce competition under a budget cap to successfully implementing its ambitious sustainability goals. However, Formula One has proven time and again its remarkable ability to adapt and thrive. The sport has navigated technological revolutions, safety crises, and commercial transformations throughout its long and storied history. This resilience is its greatest strength. The rivalries between teams and drivers will continue to create compelling human drama, while the engineers in the factories will keep dreaming up new ways to shave milliseconds off a lap time. From its humble beginnings on the public roads of Europe to its current status as a high-tech global phenomenon, the journey of Formula One has been an epic one. It is a story of speed, courage, innovation, and drama. The roar of the engines, the flash of color as cars blur past, and the tension of a last-lap battle are sensations that connect with something deep within us. The future of Formula One promises to be just as exciting as its past, a testament to the enduring, universal appeal of pushing the limits of what is possible. The race is far from over. In many ways, it is just getting started.